Hello, Janis King here. Lovely to see you. I have popped in today, have a bit of a moan. This is a pet peeve of mine, and I thought it would be really good to have a chat about it. Now, this has come up for me quite a few times over the last couple of weeks. So, as it's been a bit of a pattern, I've decided it'd be good to raise it a bit. So one of the first things that happens when either people know I'm a tarot reader, or perhaps sometimes when people come for a reading, is we get the tell me my future. Fortune telling. I don't like it. Now that seems like a strange thing to say, doesn't it, for a tarot reader? I don't like fortune telling, but I don't. And I don't like it for very specific reasons. I'll tell you what they are. Fortune telling robs you of your power. It paints you into a corner, right? Because when I tell you what your future is going to be, basically you're at the mercy of what I tell you. And it doesn't matter how much of a bit of fun you think it is, how you go, oh, well, I'm just gonna see. You remember it. You do. Now, the trouble is, this is particularly important when it comes to the area of relationships. And as you can imagine, I have read for thousands of people in the area of relationships. And one of my pet peeves is people who come to me and say they've been to another reader and the reader has described a soulmate. So they said, well, can you tell me about my soulmate? Can you tell me what they're like? When will I meet them? So when we describe a person that you're going to meet and is the person you're supposed to be with, we're setting up almost like a hypnotic suggestion. That's what we're doing. We're implanting information in your brain that you will then, on some level, look for. Now, that's a dangerous game to play, isn't it? A friend of mine, and this was way before I was doing tarot reading, a friend of mine married a guy, and this guy fitted the exact profile that a reader had told her she was going to meet. She said, you're going to meet your Prince of Pentacles. He has 5 talents and he has light-colored hair and he is this star sign. And this is your destiny. And this is who you're going to meet. This is who you're going to marry. And she met this guy and he did have light hair and he was that star sign. And he was an artist, and she listed 5 talents that she had worked out that he had. She made it fit and she married him. 5 years later, after he'd gone through all of her savings, she'd lost her house, and basically it was a ground zero. He left her. Oh, goody. That was helpful, wasn't it? So no conversation was ever had about whether or not this guy was a suitable partner, whether or not she should run far away from this particular choice. So you could, the reader could see that she was going to meet this person. She described them quite accurately, but no other information was given, right? Instead of which she told her that this was a thing, and my friend walked into it basically just completely blind. So we have a big responsibility as readers not to plant information into clients' minds that they then potentially might act out. Because maybe if the client had not gone to the tarot reader, she would have met this guy and she would have fancied him, she would have liked him, but maybe her sensible head would have looked at his past history, and perhaps she would have just started asking some more questions instead of getting swept away on a romantic wave because the tarot reader had told her that this guy was the guy she was going to marry and it was going to be amazing. Well, she didn't say it was going to be amazing. She didn't make any comment either way. And that's the thing. But we can see that stuff, right? This is the point of tarot. We can see that stuff. And if we tell somebody this is who you're going to marry and leave it at that, we're not doing the clients a service. Plus the fact that if we tell somebody that they're looking for a certain person, they can then go and ignore other choices, which might actually make them happier. They could be ignoring perfectly good romantic possibilities because they have the wrong color hair and they're the wrong star sign and they do the wrong job. Or what if the person they're going to marry is a friend of somebody that they meet or somebody and by going out with that person and by meeting that person, they then meet that person. There's a chain of events. So they don't go out with that person because they don't fit that person's bill. The whole thing gets messed up. Anyway, you get the point. It is a dangerous game to play. So we have a responsibility as readers to tread lightly, to do no harm, because we don't know as readers whether what we're telling our clients is the chicken or the egg, right? It's a complicated picture. And also, what happens if you go to the tarot reader and there she is, she's got her cards, and you say, tell me, oh tarot reader, what's on the path ahead? Who's on the path romantically for me in my future? Is there anyone there for me? And the tarot reader goes, nope, crickets. Sorry, nah, no one there. So you know what? Bed sit, 1 bar electric fire, 19 cats, and you're done. Now, sorry, I'm making light of it, I know. But nevertheless, what do you do when a tarot reader tells you that there's no one there for you? What does that do to you? I actually had a client come to me who said, don't bother reading for me about relationships because I've already been to another reader and she's told me I'll never have another relationship, so that's just it. What? Seriously? I said, can I just take a peek? Please. So I had a little look, and what was obvious were two things. First of all, the reader was right. She wasn't, going into another relationship, but also that it was circumstantial. She wasn't looking for another relationship. She just wasn't making the choice. Now, it could be that she was never going to make that choice. And the reader was quite right. She was never going to make the choice. It was never going to happen. And that was it. But the idea of choice was never had. The conversation about, well, you're making a choice. You could choose other. This is why you're making the choice. It's because stuff that's happened to you in the past is kind of informing what's going on now. And, there are other choices you could make. That didn't happen. It was discussed as her future. And that was it. And so basically the other reader sealed the deal. It's now become an immutable fact in that person's mind. And that's a shame. Because we can use tarot in so much more of a useful way. Because tarot can see 360 in every direction, right? We use it to look in the past, in the future, below the surface. We use it as a tool. What about if we don't look at tarot from the perspective of fortune telling? What if we use tarot as a tool for life creating? We can create a life experience that we actually want, and tarot can give us information that we can use to help us make our lives better. Because we can explore potential pathways. We can explore things that are blocking us. We can have a look at potential partners and go, yeah, alive, run. Don't do it. We can give ourselves information that will be useful to us. One of the things that brings us to want to ask our future is because we're scared. We're all scared. We're scared that if it's good now, it might be crap later on. We're scared that if it's crap now, it'll continue to be crap forever and ever and nothing ever will change. We're scared. We don't trust ourselves because we do weird shit, right? I mean, we've all had it where we've gone, what did I do that for? So we ask, what will I do? What will I do? Because we don't trust ourselves to do sensible things, if you're anything like me. Right? So we're looking for answers. We're looking for absolutes. We're looking for the path we can walk down so we can stop being scared. Now that's all very well, but the trouble is that doesn't give us the truth of the matter, because the truth of the matter is being scared is just a natural thing. That's just our brains scanning for threat. It happens. Our brains naturally are wired to seek out the worst case scenario. It's like an ancient thing in the back of our mind. It's called our lizard brain. So if we could not be scared, we can ask Tarot what we could do. What we could do to make life better, more amazing, more exciting. How could we be happier? How could we find a way of being that would actually make us happy? Because in my conversations with Spirit, that's what we're here. We're here to change things and be happy. We're not supposed to be miserable. That's not the plan. And I think we can use tarot sensibly and intelligently and as a tool. For me, that's what it's for. That's why I do it. I do it to make things better. Otherwise, there's no point. We might as well just save ourselves the effort and just walk blindly in that direction. And, what difference does it make? It's all going to happen anyway. So why don't we use tarot as a tool to see into the dark, to give us information that will help us change things? So if you have any thoughts about, fortune telling, or if you have any experiences of fortune telling and you want to share them with me, I'd love to hear. It's a really interesting conversation, isn't it? And one which all of us tarot readers have to contend with and have to take a position on. And I would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts. So tell me, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think. Anyway, in the meantime, I will let you go. Have a lovely day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.